And welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host, IWAR Commissioner Juan Cena, and with me, as always, BRL IWAR Commissioner Matt Riley and CWL Commissioner Mr. Anderson. How do you guys doing tonight? Fantastic. I love it. Good job.
You said Matt's name first, so he's supposed to respond first.
Shut up.
I was being polite and letting him go first.
So this is our fall cycle in review, and before we start this episode, I just want to just briefly talk about, I guess, a milestone for us. Over the last 3 episodes, we've gotten an additional 30 viewers to the Tubecast, so thank you for all you who are listening, even though you may not like us. We definitely appreciate the views on that, so thank you so much. And I want to thank whoever the person is who is promoting our show in the Diamond Fed. Also, thank you very much for promoting our show. Next time, you may want to include a link so they can just come straight to us. So I definitely appreciate that. So thank you guys. I really do appreciate that. We're going to start this episode with IWAR news. So Matt, what's going down in IWAR?
Oh, there's a lot, actually. We just finished a couple of big events, but, you know, with the IWAR, there's always something big going on.
That's what she said.
So we have the IWAR draft just days away.
What day is that again?
October 18th at, you say 10 p.m.?
Yep. 10
p.m., Thursday night. It's going to be happening, as Gordon Solie would say. And we're looking to make sure everyone who's going to be in the draft gets to enjoy it, be a part of it. We have a special draft preview in the next issue of the IWAR. Right now, have 33 entries. That's 33 draft picked, if you will. That's going to be bigger than the first 2 years combined, so nice. Also going on is Bound for Glory tournament, and we changed the format of that a little bit this year, where it's points-driven system. So, a win's worth 2, a tie is worth 1, just like the G1 formula. There are 2 blocks, and right now it is still anyone's game with 2 rounds down, but it is really pretty cool to watch the process play out. And with 3 cycles left of action, it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top between the 2 blocks. So there's that to think about. We also have the Triple D Cup tournament launched, and that's underway. The first round was just this cycle. We will have more reviews of it in the actual IWAR magazine itself. And we will have the Tag Team Derby launching soon, and it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to do 4 teams from each league, but because of spacing and quality, there are going to be probably 2 teams in NWL and then 2 additional teams from the rest of the IWAR that will get in. It'll be based on a couple of factors. Number 1 is points earned, and the 2 is trash talking. So, again, it'll be a fun event. I'm going to announce the first round matchups this coming issue, and it'll also be the same cycle with the first round matchups being in this. And what's going to happen is it's going to be three rounds, and just like the Bound for Glory, it'll be point system. So 2 points for a win, 1 point for a tie. So it'll be a fun, quick event, but one of the problems with a lot of these events is when you drag it out too much, it gets really bogged down and you forget what's going on. So we're trying to make some of the events a little more compact and still fun, but less time-consuming. Because I know with that way, you go, oh, well, it's 3 weeks between bulletins. And I always kind of chuckle because on the NWL locker room chat on Facebook, they're always like, oh my God, 3 weeks before the next bulletin. So, if you haven't seen some of the rookies diversifying and spreading themselves out throughout the game to play in more leagues to get that IWA rush more often. So, similarly, we're trying to get the events to be more compact. I would now throw it to Mr. Anderson to talk about combustible elements.
I have some combustible elements in my pants.
Oh. Well, the IWAR combustible elements event, I'm very happy to say, ended up with a total of 48 entrants. Fantastic. That means, for those of you who don't love math as much as me, it means that the credit prize split among the winner and the runner-up is a total of $96, with first place getting 75% of that, or $72, with the runner-up getting $24. Pretty good payday if you can take home the victory. Now, the first round 6-man matches, 6-person matches, will be set in the next issue, with the first round taking place the following issue. However, even though there's 6-man matches, it'll be your singles strategies that are totaled up. So, 495 and a 495 and a 495 will be added up. And the winners will advance to the next round with the tag teams. same policy. And then the singles round, it's all in your lovely Ringside magazine. If you have any questions, let me know. I am considering doing a live drawing. Those of you in a certain bronze league will remember I had a live drawing one time. It was a good time. Considering it for this event, we'll see.
All right, and I'm going to talk about the motherfucking War Games. That is the official title of the War Games. It's the motherfucking War Games. We have 12 teams. So thank you for everyone who submitted their entry fee and confirmed with me. The IWA has a problem with getting me confirmation emails and figuring out who is supposed to be in it. And then on occasion we'll get, like, I get random emails with just wrestler IDs, but with no league that they're from. So I have no idea who they are, so I had to go back to the IWA and figure that out. Which is awesome, but we got it all settled. I have my list here in front of me. I'm currently looking at it, so it's 12 teams, $60 prize, go to the winning team. So again, we're giving out a ton of money in the next couple of cycles, so be on the lookout for that. In addition, before we go too much far in this, I definitely want to give a quick shout out. We haven't done it in a while, but I want to give a quick shout out to our good friends over in the GNL. They have a GNL Tubecast, which we all enjoy. I know Mr. Anderson's a huge fan of their Tubecast, so
huge fan. It's always fun. I crack up.
It's a fun time. It's a fun time.
It is.
So definitely check out the GNL and their Tubecast. Those boys do a great job over there. All right. That being said, we're going to start off with the NWL.
We are.
Yeah, cycle number 120. League champion, the American Patriots. TV champion, Bruce Inferno. The Atlantic champion, the Christian Warrior. Central champion, the Idol, Austin Atlas. Dixie champion, and making his return, the Patient Stalker.
Yes.
Eastern champion, Gary Galaxy. Mountain champion, Triple Threat. Northern champion, Victor, the Possessed. Aizamov. Pacific champion, Timothy Zabampowski. Prairie champion, Stunning, Steve Larson. Southern champion, Maximilian Power. Western champion, Charlie Andrews. Tag team champions, the Christian Warrior, the American Patriot. TV tag team champions, the Nightmare, Johnny Carnage, Derek Dark. Six-man champions, winning another 5 free matches. Friday Night Joe Fantastic, Beautiful Blake Valentine, Stunning Steve Larson. TV six-man champions, the Nightmare Johnny Carnage, Timothy Zabampowski, and Derek Dark. So Matt, what's going down in the NWL?
There's a lot. This was one of the best cycles, top to bottom, with trash talk from the players on a lot of levels. One was the number of contributions, which I know there were some doubles in there. If you read it, you'll notice a couple of times.
No one gets paper copies other than you, Mr. Anderson.
Okay, but if you go online, you'll see it. And the thrill of getting an envelope in your mailbox is still there. Yes. I remember as a kid being like, God damn it. But when I will say this, when I first played the IWA, they had production delays, so they would be like a month and a half, 2 months between bulletins sometimes.
Matt, you can put your package in my mailbox anytime.
You know, thank you. Thank you for that. That's very polite of you. And so there's a lot going on, and the players are bringing it, and the storylines are developing. There's a lot going on that way. I actually took notes to prepare for this. We didn't do our usual pre-show, what TT you got, but I will throw out a couple of blanket statements here, in that I really enjoy when feuds kind of form and really build off. So we have the Christian Warrior, and then there's Victor the Possessed Aizamov, and he's a evil dude, and they're just going head to head, and it's really good. The TT's really good. Foreshadowing my selection for a TT in the CWL, with Luther Alexander basically threatening to murder Ricky Kyle, was Victor basically threatening to take Christian Warrior to hell. It was just really good promo.
It reminds me of Dusty Rhodes and Kevin Sullivan.
Yes. Which, by the way, if you're on Twitter, check out I think we both retweeted it. Kevin Sullivan throwing hot coffee in Dusty Rhodes' sister's face.
It was ink. It was ink.
Oh, it was ink? Oh, I thought it was coffee.
You know about that angle? Dusty Rhodes, right, is signing a contract because he's about to face Ric Flair once again for the NWA World Title. So they have a big, those plumes with the big fucking feather on it? So that's at the desk. He's going to sign it with the fucking thing, right? So they do like a This Is Your Life, Dusty Rhodes. They bring out like they have like telegrams from all these people, George Steinbrenner, and then they bring out Dusty's sister. Right, they flew her in from Austin, Texas. Right.
Right.
So they put her there, and he's about to sign, and then Kevin Sullivan just runs up, grabs the ink, and just throws it in her face.
Oh, it's fantastic.
So at the end of that, Dusty Rhodes forgoes his NWA title shot to get another match at Kevin Sullivan.
Well, I'll tell you, I loved it. Anyways, so just a flashback there. So other feuds going on, or I should say actually title page stuff first. The Star Factory retaining the 6-man titles is pretty damn
good, right?
Yeah, man, and it's cool. And then you also have Johnny Carnage and Derek Dark on their final cycle, racking up some more championships. He almost broke the record for most regionals won in a year. He came close.
Who has the record?
Ricky Kyle. 10.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, 9 with Koenig, and he had 7, I believe. So he got really close. Anyways, reminder, always challenge every regional champion, kids. Trash talk-wise, we saw, I think the most disturbing TT belonged to someone who made his debut, and that was Dirty Mike. Now, I will give you a little background. If you ever saw the movie The Other Guys, there is a homeless man called Dirty Mike and the boys, and they use his car as an F-shack. And he used a very perverted amount of trash talk to talk about checking the Chameleon's, quote, oil, and other fun things like that. So thank you for submitting your trash talk, although I'm still looking for trash talk again from the patient stalker. We'll see if he actually...
He's being patient. So you should.
Well, you know what's funny is he was quiet for the longest time, and then he made some awesome TT, and then went silent again.
Yeah.
And Johnny Carnage actually was telling me he thought he was going to have a big feud with him, and he kind of just went silent. And in fairness, some players don't TT as well as others, but this guy was great. Yeah. So I really, hopefully, if he's listening, patient stalker, we're looking for you to bust out some TT. Other TT.
Do you know who the Omega Squadron is?
I do not.
Okay.
But the NWL will be ending apparently. So. Sorry, kids. The Mega Squadron said they're coming, and it's going to end the NWL, so that's it. That's all there is to it. We had fantastic trash talk, as always, from the Chameleon, who this cycle worked in the names of, I believe, Cobra or Mask. One of the two, I'm not sure which, or both. He has a habit of weaving in 80s cartoons and 90s cartoons. I will say that Bruce Inferno posting a promo where he gets out of the car being dropped off by Sean Bradley's mother, who's a manager in the game, like in the manager figure.
It's Cobra, by the way.
Thank you, Cobra. I figured it was Cobra. I just wanted to
Crystal Ball is the worst fucking G.I. Joe action figure of all fucking time, by the way.
The hell was Crystal Ball?
Do you remember Crystal Ball? That was late in the series. It was like, I think it came out 87, 88.
Was it the psychic character?
Yeah, he was obviously his name is Crystal Ball. I believe, if I'm not mistaken on that, I believe his file card was written by Owen King, the son of Stephen King.
Wow. All right, there it is.
I collect action figures, guys.
So anyways, I loved the Chameleon's TT. He set up a fantastic, now to give you perspective, last cycle, the American Patriot was attacked by a masked Chief Booga Wooga who needed the money, so he did it for money. And this cycle, Chameleon comes out. He hired them as a nanny. It's just so many good levels there. Logan Kane's promo was hysterical. Really, really well written. So again, guys, great work. I know I'm not including everybody, but any of you really particularly like?
I want to talk about the debut of Dylan Murphy. He is 6 feet tall, 214 pounds. He's from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Essentially, he's a guy who likes to break the rules. He's a cheater. He might be the newest, dirtiest player in the game. So we'll see how that goes.
Right.
I wish him luck. He has a picture also, which is I'm a fucking mark for pictures anyway, especially hand drawn ones too, which I think are always fabulous. So. We get a picture here of Dylan Murphy, right next to your Battle Royals, by the way.
All right, Mr. Anderson?
Well...
He didn't read the TT.
Of course I did. I want to have an honorable mention for the Sean Bradley trash talk. I don't normally just read it, but I got to read this. Sean Bradley says, I started at the wrong place.
Like, you're reading, like, not aloud, or are you just reading it to yourself?
Yes. Okay, so speaking of Logan Kane, you fell for our lookalikes that they hired to play us. And we hired an actor to play my mom. My mom isn't alive. So unless you dug her up, it wasn't her. And I'm like, that's how you shut something down.
We kind of wish we had Cutter Carter. You probably would have dug her up with the shovel.
You can't trash talk about my mom. She's not alive. And then you had mentioned several of the other ones that I also enjoyed. Chameleon, Logan Kane, good as always. Big Bag Bob, I'm a big fan. But the one that I will talk about is Blazer Corp, always good. They're celebrating Bookworm's win. It seems like the group is becoming cohesive again. There was some tension there after Gary Galaxy had won the league title. And then Bruce Inferno had it 2 cycles in a row. So it seems like they're back together. And it sounds like they're going to have one last hurrah in the NWL going after Sean Bradley and Billy Club and Triple Threat, finishing up with that feud. So I'm excited to see how that ends up as they look towards moving on from their rookie year.
I will say this. I have two last points with the NWL Trash Talk. One is the use of the "it wasn't me, it was my stunt doubles" approach is patented by Frank Snow. That for the longest time, whenever somebody would attack him and do like a haircutting attack or some brutal injury, it would be like, well, it's one of my stand-ins. So I hope they send him a check for that, using that concept. Oh. And finally, my favorite part of the TT this cycle was, again, Logan Kane. Just to drive home, he did a whole thing. And again, it's the writing. It's so good. He has David Caruso on the show, and they're looking for clues, and he can't figure out where Sidekick is. And they go, where the hell is that guy? His sidekick, sidekick. And it's Sean Bradley's mom standing in a Greek island with Sidekick on the beach. And they're talking back and forth, and Sidekick reveals that his real name is, in fact, not Sidekick, but he's a Greek tycoon named Penis. Penis. I'm looking forward to the IWA getting that name through into the roster. I don't see it here yet, but we could see it soon. So kudos to making me laugh. I always enjoy trash talk that makes me laugh. So well done, fellas. NWL, we don't have an update yet on the winners of the specialty championships, but I'm hoping some NWLers rack those belts up. So well done, guys.
Is anyone else horrified by Sloth's TT?
Yes,
I'd say I am delightfully horrified. It's horrified that I enjoy because it's awesome.
Great.
Next up is the CWL number 223 league champion, the River Dancer Mike Collins, TV champion Wildcard Gareth Shadowstar, United States champion Mike Mason, Yukon champion Atticus Poundover, Caribbean champion Clark Pierpont, Amazon Basin champion Pop Culture Peter Cross, British Isles champion Lauren Order, Arabian champion. What?
I'm just being not nice. I said, doesn't he have a nickname?
Yeah, Lubribrius.
Hey, quick hashtag on that. During the testimony last week by Dr. Ford, she used that in a sentence, and I think I messaged you guys about that because I was like, holy shit.
That's a real fucking word?
Now that she was like, but I found solace in the IWA, but, just interesting that word was used.
Ridiculous.
There it is.
Arabian champion, Big John Stoned. South African champion, Groovy Ash Andrews. Siberian champion, the Tyrant David Hammerhead. East Asian champion, He Who Dwells Among the Pines. Oceanic champion, Axel von Schnapp. Tag team champions, Axel and Alex von Schnapp. TV tag team champions, Johnny the Wrench Morello and Vincent Torrio. Six-man champions, Victor, Axel, and Alex von Schnapp. TV six-man champions, The Philosopher, Elijah Davies, Lugubrious, Lauren Ordura, and the River Dancer, Mike Collins. So, Mr. Anderson, what's going down in the CWL?
Feels like we're coming out of Wrestle Frenzy, but we are quickly establishing a hotbed of big matches going into nuclear warfare. The main event, Barry Stevens versus Joe Boring. The match between Dixon Ticonderoga and Jamie Montgomery. Those are also things I might talk about with the Trash Talk, so I don't want to dive too deep but it just feels like there is kind of this where sometimes after a pay-per-view, it's kind of like where everything crescendoed and then it's calm. That does not feel like that is what has happened. It feels like it crescendoed and then somehow it's just going to stay at that level and then crescendo above the crescendo. So I'm pretty excited about where all the stories are going. Matches are coming together. Cards are doing good. Things are going very well.
Nice. You want to pass it to one of us?
So what trash talk did you have, Mr. Riley, for the CWL this cycle?
I would say I would go with, well, Mike Mason's was interesting, but I actually liked Lauren O'Dur's a lot. I really enjoyed that. The dynamic of the Luther Alexander partnership was very well played out. I enjoyed it. And then Mike Mason with the Syndicate, I liked that as well. And of course, I was also a fan of Ethereal Guardian trying to change the Agents of Chaos to Agents of Redemption. So, there it is. Those are the ones that stood out to me.
For me, I gotta look at Joe Boring. I think we're all Joe Boring fans. Since his days in the NWL, we've always been a big Joe Boring fan. Again, he's talking about his feud with Barry taking A. Stevens, and he looks like he wants to atone for his sins, much like the Ethereal Guardian. So he claims that he will conquer Barry Stevens. Basically, just throw him in a vat of acid and kill him. So,
oh, I think that is how that trash talk ends. So normally, I think we try and pick out a couple of trash talks to talk about in the leagues that we commission. I almost want to kind of paint broad strokes. I feel like a lot of the trash talks are intermingling with each other. So we have, say, Dagger Bomb with his issues with the educated team. We have kind of this four-way build-up going between Ricky Kyle to Luther to Lauren to Mason, and it's kind of all these nice feuds are intertwining. Barry Stevens, Joe Boring, Dixon Ticonderoga, Jamie Montgomery. We just have all these things where people are really firing off of each other. So, gosh,
I wonder if Ricky Kyle is going to finally admit that he's 1/16th luchador.
If he does, I think that will only further fire up Luther Alexander.
Yeah.
The only other trash talk that I wanted to mention, I haven't mentioned already, is how excited I am for the potential feud between the Boys Are Back in Town, Ray Converse, and Harley Brown against the Oddball Express of Pokey McSnail and Milton Snoshbuster. I think that could be the most hilarious feud we've ever seen in the IWA. So I am super excited. I hope that occurs because that would make my day.
You have matches already set for
nuclear warfare.
Yes.
We have a couple, and I would say there are at least 3 more that will probably be announced next cycle.
All right. Fantastic. Next up is the IWL number 93 League Champion TJ Relic, Television Champion Winston Smith Jr., New York City Champion Hostile Takeover, Los Angeles Champion Cade the Scorch Weller, Boston Champion Someone in the Know, Detroit Champion Kennedy Cage, Cleveland Champion Alec Von Schnapp, Dallas Champion Tim Riggins III, Memphis Champion Achilles Leos, Miami Champion Scott Farkas, San Francisco Champion Andrew Jefferson Couchman, or returning Andrew Jefferson Couchman. Or was he active last cycle? I don't remember. Chicago Champion Blank. Tag Team Champions, yet again. They win another 5 matches. Graham Underwood, Kennedy Cage. They also set the record for most points earned in the 4-pack challenge. So,
just out of curiosity, what is the maximum number that somebody could earn in a 4-pack challenge?
How many points did you get?
60, I believe.
That is the max. Doesn't matter because you're not going to win at Starrcade anyway.
Not if I face the Blanks.
No, that's what we're making reference to. I don't think I'm going to beat the Blanks. TV Tag Team Champions Solomon Graham and Alec Von Schnapp. 6-man champions. And they win yet another 5 matches. The Chaotix of Frederick Xavier, Graham Underwood, and Kennedy Cage. And TV 6-man champions Pastor Payne, Haruki Fuji, and Achilles Leos. So
Can I get some confirmation? I'm sorry to interrupt. That was rude. But since I've interrupted, Can I get confirmation that with that 6-man title retention, they have tied the Agents of Chaos for the most consecutive 6-man titles at 4?
I believe so. I think that's the record. I want to say at some point, I think Juan Cena has the official file. And if not, I know there's a listener out there named Ryan who will have the file that he's keeping updated, and he could tell us. And I believe that's the record.
I think that's correct.
Okay.
So the cover of this month's Post of Post is Kid Montag, my pick to win the King of the Ring, by the way. Don't forget the King of the Ring pay-per-view will take place this cycle. There's always at least a little bit of confusion about pay-per-views and when they occur and when things occur. Just to be 100% clear, the cycle that the poster says is the cycle that the matches will run. And that goes for everything. Everything I do, war games, everything else. When I announce it, it runs the cycle that So if I say cycle 92, the matches will run the cycle 92. The write-ups will be done cycle 93. So just to be, let's get some clarity on that, because we tend to mess it up every once in a while. It's usually my fault too. Like last year was a rough year. We had we had 2 extra pay-per-views last year.
Whoopsie.
That was a little rough, but yeah, what are you gonna do? So we have King of the Ring again. That's a 1-cycle tournament, and the winner of that will get a IWL Heavyweight Championship match at the Starrcade pay-per-view. In addition, TJ Relic won the Best of the Best tournament. He will receive a Pan American Championship title match at Starrcade. He beat Ali Atari in the finals and won himself 10 free matches as well.
Jerk pulls out a 501.
I know, right? Right in your face.
Oh, can you repeat that? I just want to make sure. The Best of the Best winner challenges the Pan American, and the King of the Ring winner challenges the heavyweight?
Yep.
Okay.
You can probably tell the fact that I put a big Pan American Championship belts on the bracket for Best of the Best.
You know, I do see that.
Yeah.
I do see that. That looks good.
It's not one of my best championship belts, but I think it's decent.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Better than mine, that's for sure.
To each their own,
okay.
I guess.
Each their own.
All right, guys. In terms of TT, what do you guys got?
Who are you throwing to?
Mr. Anderson.
Oh, snap. So I want to say first that I think the IWLTT was super strong this cycle. Super strong stuff. I'm going to flip through and find the one that I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about the... well, it's 2 and 1. There are 2 submissions for the Midnight Society, and the first one is where Dale the Owl and Aaron McFleece are trying to decide who their 5th member is going to be for War Games. Some pretty hilarious stuff going back and forth there. And they end up with Eric the Hot Dog Vendor. So we'll see if Eric can pull his weight. The second one for the Midnight Society is where they go to beat up Luther. And they're basically telling Kid Montag, who, for those of you who don't know, is a newer member.
Who was he before?
He was one of the drunks. Mm-hmm. He was drunken, not Camper or Fisher, so Drunken Hunter. He would have been Drunken Hunter before. So he became Kid Montag, joined the Midnight Society, and they're like, trust us, Luther is a huge b-hole. so they beat up Luther, and Aaron McFleece finds his Grand Prix title. They accidentally bust the wall and find Neo Dragon, so they're going to beat him up. Just funny stuff. Funny stuff.
I enjoyed that.
There's going to have to be consequences for that, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure. How could there not?
Matt, what do you got?
Well, I have, IWL-wise, Rex Rude still. I enjoyed his promo thoroughly. Again, it was concise. It was well-delivered. It, partially built up his opponent. Didn't go the typical route of just, insulting and name-calling. It was very well done. I really enjoyed it. So I enjoy Rex Rude's work in the IWL immensely.
He's good, man.
Yeah.
Real good. You know what's funny? I see the dirt sheet that I guess Mr. Weller has, which I find amusing, by the way. On the bottom, where it says 3 things you need to know, it says Rex Rude's real name is Clarence, which is, I believe, a reference to 8 Mile, which is hilarious to me. And the Tubecast exposed. Well, I'm often exposed on the Tubecast because I don't historically wear pants. So there's that.
Yes.
Keep that in mind. We have our friends at the Math Club. They're going after Noble House, which is fantastic. So I'm curious to see how Noble House is going to respond from these geeks. Well, they are geeks. Crappy TT from Luther Alexander. We have the Drunks. Now, are the Drunks going to go after?
They're enjoying with the LaCroix, and I'm excited to see where that goes.
So you got the LaCroix and the Drunks. They're going to be teaming up together in the near future.
Well, we don't know for sure, but they do seem to be enjoying a beverage together.
Coconut flavor, huh?
Coconut flavor.
You ever had coconut water?
Coconut water? No, I don't drink fancy water. I drink tap water.
No, coconut water is the juice from the side of coconut. Well, it's called coconut water, right?
I don't drink fancy anything. I drink water.
My wife enjoys the coconut water, right? But I don't like drinking shit with fucking shit floating in it. It's fucking weird to me. Like, I don't like orange juice with pulp in it. It's gross.
Cosign.
Yeah, it's like stuff floating in my drinks is not cool. Yeah, so I think the Drunks are going to get their revenge on Kid Montag and see if he will survive. We have Cena Lucha not saying anything interesting. Just kidding. He challenges Luther Alexander to a loser leave town match, which we're going to have at King of the Ring. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. We have Alec Von Schnapp talking about Neo Dragon, Magnum TL, the deaf mute Magnum TL, by the way, and Ali Atari. So what's his deal? Why is he so mad?
Who?
Alec Von Schnapp. Why did he turn his back on everyone and hurt everyone's feelings?
He was overlooked by Commissioner Race. He's been trying to bust his ass. Everyone hated him when he came in because he came in and debuted as a champion.
Yeah.
That wrinkled a lot of noses, and he's had a chip on his shoulder ever since.
That's ridiculous.
So, just saying.
That. And he's in the draft. I might have to draft him back, too. We'll see how that goes. We'll talk about the draft at the end of the show, though. We have TT here from Ali Atari. You know what gets me about Ali Atari and his redemption tour? He beat Luther, he beat Tim Riggins, and who's he going to go after next? Is he going to be someone of any notes?
It could be. I will say this. One of the problems of being or writing a face in this game is that you have to hope for the heels to step up.
I know.
And heels don't always step up. They kind of just carry on. So he might actually call some people out this cycle and kind of, dress them down for their sinister ways, and we'll see how that works out.
I dig that. He's going to be in the War Games match. He's going to be on Neo Dragon's team with James Braddock and Colt McQuaid, and that's going to be a cool. In addition, I guess TJ Relic is going by the Phoenix TJ Relic now. Yeah, so he's going after Dr. Slam again. That feud's been heating up for quite a while, and I think they should have some sort of death match where someone should die. Now, that's the thing about death matches; no one ever dies in them. It's fucking weird.
Except Black Demon.
Well, yeah, but he came back. The Chaotix here. The one thing about the Chaotix, you know why I don't like them?
What is that?
Because they win too fucking much.
Way too much.
It's fucking annoying as fuck. Stop winning shit.
Even their straight agrees.
Who manages those guys anyway?
I don't like them.
Some jerk.
I see they're still talking trash about the regulators, which is nice.
They're still trying to draw them guys out. They're drinking mimosas.
Hashtag record set, by the way.
Okay.
I looked it up. I found the file.
So is it tied at 4 now?
No, they hold it at 4.
Oh, snap! That's crazy.
Yeah, there were many 3 cycles by regulators, but they kept getting dethroned before the 4th. And the kinship also had 3, but they are bumped off. So it's well done.
Can someone tell me what a fart kiss is?
I do not know. I don't want to know.
That may be a play on...
I know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fucking awesome.
Chaotix went after a lot of folks.
They did. Are they concerned about the title defense with Dr. Slam?
He doesn't seem like it. He calls him the IWL's version of Darkman. So
I wasn't sure what that meant because Darkman the movie was very dark. And I mean, like, not just the name, but like...
Well, because Darkman got all burned up. And Dr. Slam got all burned up.
All right.
It was about Dr. Slam, though. Like, he wins in big spots, too.
I know. I'm a little concerned because Dr. Slam can hit a high strat any cycle.
Yeah. So he's a tough opponent.
He's a contender.
Yeah. So the Chaotix here, they do a great job. I like the fact, again, rookies, when you're looking at this, they like to bold the names. So if you're quickly going through them, you can see what they're talking about pretty fast because, again, their names are in bold. So it's a good way because there's some people out there who don't go through all the trash talks. Some guys just scan for their name and see what was said about them. But it's a good way to make sure that, here's my name. Let me check it out so you don't miss anything, which happens from time to time. But, yeah, yet again, Chaotix are going after, they're talking crap about Luther. They're talking crap about the Blanks. Dr. Slam. They're talking about War Games and the fact that they're teaming up with with those clowns.
Yeah.
Fucking Monroes. Fucking hate those guys too. Fucking awful. We have the War Goddess is in the IWL. She looks like a badass. I think she's going to do extremely well here in the IWL. I believe she is. Is she currently the only women's wrestler that we have active right now?
Yes.
She might be.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, she may,
I mean, are we counting Winston Smith Jr.?
He is a female. He smells so pretty, like daffodils and shit. It's fucking weird. But, maybe she's going to follow in the footsteps of Sasha. Now, for those of you who don't remember who Sasha was once the most dominant force in the IWL, and her and Monty Roach ran roughshod over the IWL for an extended period of time. So maybe War Goddess will be looking to follow in her footsteps and really kind of...
Former IWAR world champion, Sasha.
I know. Fucking ridiculous. Next up is the BRL number 521 league champion, winning $50 in IWA credit, Mr. Blood. TV champion, the Extreme Icon Hannibal. Atlantic champion, Chief Bold Gray Fox. Central champion, the Shadow Warrior. Dixie champion, Lady Kung Fu Candy Cane. Eastern champion, Siren Demented. Mountain champion, Sam Swagger. Northern champion, Severus. Pacific champion, El Love Gun Willie Chanchez. Prairie champion, Sam Whiskey. Southern champion, the Villain Victor Kane. Western champion, Nuz. That's how you pronounce that? I think it's a play on These Nuts. But,
These Nuts, yeah, I believe so.
It's supposed to be, yeah. But phonetically, it doesn't kind of match that, but whatever.
Yeah.
Cute. Tag Team Champion, Misfit Puppet number 1 and Misfit Messiah. TV Tag Team Champions, Colonel Dirk Vanderbeek, Sergeant Stagger Vanderback. Six-Man Champion, Misfit Puppet number 1, Misfit Messiah, Misfit Puppet number 2. And TV Six-Man Champion, Sinister, Steve Stryker, Matthew Von Slaughter, and Chief Bold Gray Fox. That's a heck of a team there.
Yes.
So, Matt, what's going down in the BRL?
Oh, there's a lot going down. We have a lot of things happening, and should mention that Sam Whiskey had a 501, so did Chief Bill Gray Fox, and Shadow Warrior, but only Sam Whiskey hauled in a Idaho-wide regional. But well done, fellas. My notes here. Well, a lot of things coming up. Autumn Anarchy 7 is about to be printed up. I'm going to be writing those matches out. That's why I'm trying to get the draft stuff done, because I have a pay-per-view to write. Hooray. As I mentioned earlier, the Ava Von Schnapp Alligator feud is kind of building up the women's division, so that's good to see. We have asked players to declare if they are going to be in the unified division or the global division for the Commissioner's Championships. We will be unifying them at the next Tuesday Night Thunder, also TNT. And you should know that once these divisions are settled, you can swap out eventually. We'll have another time for that. But The reason it's important to declare is when we start tracking the average strat values of the wrestlers, as we do now with break them into brackets, you'll be ranked according to what division you declare for. If you don't declare, we're not going to allot you into those divisions. So the difference between the titles is a major point of interest. The global champion will be eligible to challenge for the IWAR World Championship if they have the highest strat value over 3 cycles. The unified champion will win 5 free matches every cycle they hold the belt. So championship caliber versus free matches are kind of the options there. So a lot of players are splitting their roster. I'm going to actually invoke a rule and ask players to not put all the wrestlers into one to keep it more fun. So you split your wrestlers up. So if you have 6 wrestlers, it would be 3 and 3. If you had 4, 2 and 2. If you had 2, 1 and 1. That way it gets more people in the mix for both titles. Right now we have about a 3-to-1 mix. So we're asking players to kind of, divvy it up. It's going to become officially in play at the end of the year going into 2019. So there's time to do it. So we have about 20 wrestlers so far that have declared overall. And that's really helpful for me, so thank you for doing that. Other things going on. Oh, there's a lot going on, actually. I would say that I really enjoyed Sebastian's trash talk.
He's so fucking good. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's great.
Can we talk about how the BBL's not ready?
They're not ready, clearly. They're not ready for this. They're not ready for this jelly. So yes, always fun when other leagues' trash talk gets sent into our leagues, because it would be a lot to ask Adaway to actually monitor which leagues are actually...
It says BBL on the top of it.
Right on the top. Yeah, so there it is. I would understand if, perhaps a player just went to the wrong Fed, but whatever. It's fine.
And I know people literally send, like, every piece of trash talk in a separate email, so I can see how this possibly could have got messed up, but who knows?
It ended up in both. So, like, even if it had not shown up in the bulletin it was supposed to be in, you'd go, oh, they accidentally put it in the wrong one.
Right.
But it's in both.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Like, somebody accidentally put it in, they're like, just believe it, nobody cares.
Yes. No one cares, indeed. I will say I did notice there was a $25,000 bounty put on the Leatherman's head. So there's that sitting
He's not even worth that much.
Don't steal my response.
Oh, sorry.
Other TT of note is, of course, the big bad Red Fox and the villain Victor Kane's getting their feud escalating. The Suburban Hell Savages are still trying to figure out who's been burning and vandalizing their property. So that's still in play. And some great trash talk from Catfish.
We all love Catfish, Rob. He's an IWAR Tubecast favorite.
He is. What stood out to you?
Well, I want to talk about freaking Elgato and what he did to Luther's car, but haha, joke's on you. Luther drives a DeLorean, not a red Miata. Okay.
Would you say that was a stand-in or an actor?
No, I'm pretty sure that's Mike Sebastian's car, and he's just confused because Mike Sebastian clearly drives a red Miata.
Mike Sebastian's going to his car. What the hell?
This cycle he's learning to meow in English, so you can have better communication with his American counterparts. So that's always good to see. Is the picture of El Barbero, is he reading him a bedtime story? Like, what's going on there?
I think that's what's going on.
Yeah, looks ridiculous. Mr. Anderson, what do you got?
I wanted to talk about BRL juggernaut that is Sir Gunter Kinderwatt and Sinister Steve Stryker, who, for those of you who don't know, maybe it was mentioned on the last Tubecast, I believe Sinister Steve Stryker just broke the BRL record, right? For most league champions.
He did, 11-time champion.
So, definitely been on a roll. Sir Gunter is talking about how they joined DOD and people are wondering what's going on with that. He's calling them out. He's calling Ricky Kyle out. That feud has not ceased. And Sinister Steve Stryker talks about all of his recent victories. And then he also talks about Ricky Kyle. But at the end, he's talking about the Extreme Icon Hannibal and maybe a possible match between those two, which I would pay the price of admission for that matchup.
Yes.
That's a big deal, man. That's a big deal.
I do want to add a thank you to a player. I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Guajardo. Well, Joe.
Say it with an accent, you jerk.
Guajardo.
Ridiculous.
I don't always butcher names, but when I do, I impersonate Juan Cena. Joe G of the Star Factory did a lot of WWE 2K19, I guess, or 18 it was. He did some fantastic work creating some of the wrestlers. You'll notice that Mad Dog, Dick Jackson, Suplex are getting new looks. There's other ones on the works. So thank you for your work and helping create these wrestlers. We appreciate it.
Do you know what sucks about 2K18, by the way? You can't make fat guys.
Really?
Yeah.
You couldn't make it like a King Kong Bundy?
Like, go watch the last episode of the NWA 1984 project. King Kong Bundy is on that show. He's not fat.
I couldn't be a character on the game, is what you're saying.
You're not chubby.
Dude, you have no idea.
Hey, we saw the picture. You're jacked. Come on now.
Oh, of course. Right.
We saw the memorial of the IWAR con type picture. I want to see the picture of the police report the next morning of you, Jake, and Tom in a brawl, like a Cardi B type brawl, beating people with shoes.
These three men thought that they were going to be picking holes when they stepped outside.
It'll be clickbait. These three guys went to pick holes, and you won't believe what happened next. Click to see. God.
I was going to let everyone know that WWE 2K19 was released today, so
there it is.
Yeah, I had to buy it too. I'm not looking forward to it. Ridiculous. So Matt, let us know who has committed for the IWAR draft.
All right, let's go. We'll start off with Jordan Drake, wrestler with no name, Alabaster, and Unleavened Bread from the NWL. The author of Agony, LePage Turner from the NWL. Nightmare Johnny Carriage and Derek Dack. H. Del Impostor. Solomon Graham. Keelan Crash Wendorf. Mr. Magnificent Jamie Montgomery. A LWL wrestler who will remain secret until the preview guide comes out. Style and Steve Sokolowski. Hope I said that right. Sergeant Skullbasher from the AWL. R.A. Rude from the LWL. The Savage Americans from deepest, darkest New Hampshire. Alec Von Snuff. Big Bad Red Fox from the BRL. Koenig and the Great David. Farragus Brennan. Xandrin Zimis. Clark Pierpont. Liam Larrikin, the Standover Man, and Felix Nine Lives Buenaventura. Dominic Barlow and Ash Andrews. Scott Farkas and Grover Dill. Grand Sabrosa, Prince Ton, and Shocker, Jimmy Electric of the BRL. Hester Fester and Rab Fash. The Chameleon, Late Night Logan Kane. Star Factory, Joe Fantastic, Blake Valentine, and Steve Larson. Bagman, Jimmy Henchman. Death. Paul Wrecking Cruz. The Impeccable Damon Voss from the LWL. Bum bum bum. Mr. X, a mystery wrestler, masked. And I actually almost forgot one. The Orphan Crippler. Former IWA champion. If you're going to cripple somebody, it better be an orphan, because, you don't have to worry about getting sued by the parents.
Man,
so,
that's a star-studded lineup, man.
That gives us 34 entrants into the draft. By the time you hear this, unless you post it on Monday, this will be closed, but there's always next year. So thank you to everyone who got involved. This is going to be a lot of fun. It'll be live October 18th and at 10 p.m. on the Facebook IWAR network. So be sure to join us and enjoy the draft as we announce the picks live. Fellas, what do you think?
I just wanted to say that when you were reading off those names, I thought of the early 90s where they would read off all the names for the Royal Rumble, and they would have the little picture that would fade in and then fade out. And that's what I envisioned as you were reading those names.
I could put the music in.
I didn't have anything really. Yeah.
I could put the Royal Rumble music behind that.
Yeah, please do.
It'd be funny. Again, guys, you have to understand this is a 100% shoot. We're all looking to get the best wrestlers for our leagues, or at least the wrestlers that we think that can, have a major impact. It's a shoot, guys. It's a shoot. We're not playing favorites. We're not like, oh, okay, I'll get this guy and you'll get that guy. No, it's like we're going to go all out here. And,
I want the best possible people.
I agree. No, my last year's draft wasn't that great, so I have to make up for it this year. All right, guys. So we are officially out of time. So for Mr. Anderson, for Matt Riley, I'm Juan Cena.